I haven't even got to the end of this paragraph yet. And this big boomer energy of I gave them everything. What the fuck does this mean? Like you were a parent? Like you had parent duties? Is that what you're saying? Because all I can smell here is lack of accountability. Hey people, welcome back or to another video. For those of you who are brand new around here, a very warm welcome. I'm super grateful and excited to have you come and join us. And for those veterans who have been around for a while, welcome back. I am super excited for this video because, well, first and foremost, I'm feeling back to 150%. So thank you for those who are very understanding on my last post and my last video. Now, if you were around here, I think it was around November time, I put up this video right here about why so many adult children are cutting off their parents. Now, you could call this a video of like a, you know, part 2 of that, or like a follow-up of that, as you can probably see from the title, because as soon as I read this post on the Facebook page of I regret having kids, I was literally like, this is it. This is the exact reason. We need people to understand why their adult children are not speaking to them anymore. Because let's face it, for your adult children to cut you out as a parent, you need to be doing some serious shit. And in this video, we're going to be getting into it. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give this video a massive thumbs up. It really helps push this content out for those people who are in need of a child-free community like so. And for those of you who are looking for something a little extra special and something a little bit more intimate, then feel free to click the join button down below. That is for my own YouTube membership. If you click join, you can see everything that is available to you. When I came across this story, because I saw it shared by somebody else on Facebook, I was like, right, this is a perfect reason to make an educational video. It's an educational video for the reason that parents do need to understand and need to self-reflect a little bit more on why their adult kids aren't talking to them, instead of just fucking moaning into a void about why your kids aren't speaking to you. Let's have a little learn and a little think about why they're possibly not speaking to you. I always wanted kids, and my ex and I had a great marriage for almost 20 years. We were all very close until the divorce. Then it was like the kids wanted to play whichever side they could. I thought I raised good kids. Their dad worked all the time. I was left to work full time, be the taxi cab driver for extracurricular activities, and raise and discipline them. In the last 10 years, one by one, they've decided to quit speaking to me. For whichever reason, I'm now this horrible parent and they have decided I'm too toxic to have a relationship with, but won't even tell me what I did wrong. I have come to terms with them not speaking to me over the last couple of years. But when I think about it, it drives me crazy because they won't even tell me what I did that was so bad. Well, for me, as soon as I read this part of the story where it said, I think it said, they won't even tell me what I did was so bad, that was when I was like, the boomer alarm went off. I was like, this reeks of big boomer energy, because already this person is already speaking about how, oh, I did this for them. I had to do that for them. I had to discipline them. I had to take them to extracurricular activities. Basically, I had to raise them. Sorry, was that not what you signed up for? Because last time I checked, if you wanted to have kids and you had kids, you had them to do all of that stuff. Did you like not know what parenting was before you had kids? I mean, you had multiple kids. You haven't just got one, you've had several. So what did you think your job was as a parent? You know, okay, your husband was always working and you had to be a taxi cab driver, but that's kind of part of your job when you're a parent. I mean, you're a chef, you're a cleaner, you're a therapist, you know, you're a taxi cab driver. These are roles within parenthood. I mean, first and foremost, I haven't even got to the end of this paragraph yet. And this big boomer energy of I gave them everything. What the fuck does this mean? Like you were a parent? Like you had parent duties? Is that what you're saying? Because all I can smell here is lack of accountability. I've come to terms with them not speaking to me over the last couple of years. But when I think about it, it drives me crazy, because they won't even tell me what I did was that bad. I remarried and we have a great life, but these kids have been handed everything all their lives and I can't move past it. I tell myself to just let go and move on, but secretly it's killing my heart. I know when they marry and have kids, it will kill me being left out. I should also mention some of them don't speak to their father either. How do I move on and enjoy what life I have left with my new husband? How do you forget about your kids after them being in your whole life for so long? So how can she move on with her kids not speaking to her anymore? So I had a few pointers. Feel free to share yours in the comments. You know, for me, I've heard so many posts where boomers say, I gave them everything. Can we just talk about this for a minute? Because what the fuck does this mean? If you're telling everybody else that you raised your kids the right way and you supposedly gave them everything, everything of what though? Because I think a lot of people get this mixed up. Because everything of what? Like you gave them what? Designer clothes, you gave them money, you must have given them really expensive gifts for Christmas and birthday, in which case, I'm sorry to say, but that's kind of your fault. I mean, you let them get spoiled if that's the case. If that's the reason they're not speaking to you, then were you there for their emotional well-being? You know, were you there for them when they were sad, when they were angry, when they'd broken up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or, you know, were you there for them when they were getting bullied? Or, I don't know, you know, it sounds like you were there for them to like give them whatever they wanted when they asked for something. I just found the whole thing just very much like, and someone actually said it in one of the comments, you know, narcissistic mother cries wolf kind of thing. I think that was the words that she used. And I was just like, yes, this person has hit the nail on the head. I've said this before, you can't control who you give birth to. So naturally, you might have 5 kids and one of them might not like you, or 3 of them might not like you, or you might have 1 kid and you might grow up and be completely different to them and have a different personality and outlook on life. And you know what? You might just not like each other. And I've said this before, this is one of my fears. I don't want to have a kid and they know they don't like me, or I don't like it. You know, I don't want to get into that situation ever. So you turning around and saying, but I gave you everything, but you need to understand your kids aren't a reflection of you. They're not an extension of you. It just sounds like you're really upset that they're not playing along with your narrative and they've gone and lived their own lives. So what happened afterwards is, because OP was being fucking roasted in the comments. Now this next comment was incredibly telling. I would like to respond, yes, there is more to the story. I just gave the short version. I should clarify from the beginning that it is only the 2 girls who have gone no contact. The boys all seem happy and adjusted. I chalk it up to mother-daughter drama. I can accept responsibility from where I am wrong. Have contacted both girls and told them no matter what it was that I'd done or they feel I've done, that I wanted to apologize to them and I would like to sit down and try counseling or try to work things out. Neither of them seem to want to. I also add that none of this happened until each girl went off to college. It's like they both came back a different person I did not recognize. Without being too political, I think one of the reasons they are angry with me, because I believe in what the Bible tells me, that women should be somewhat submissive in their marriage, and both of these girls are all about my body, my choice. I should also add that they are in their 30s and neither one has ever married or had children. I'm sure some people might blame that on me and say it was because of the way that I raised them. I can assure you it's not. The boys have moved on and gotten married and have children. Oh, I'm sorry. Is somebody telling on themselves? Wait. I obviously, thank God I wasn't drinking during the Bible part, because I would have spat that all out over my phone. But can we talk about, why are you writing my body, my choice? Why is it in these speech bubbles or marks? Is it because you don't believe in that? I've got a feeling you don't believe that women should be in control of their minds and their bodies and their life choices and their lifestyles. I've got a sneaky suspicious feeling that might be why your daughters don't speak to you, but your sons do. Because what it sounds like is, it sounds like you're a fucking misogynist, and because you were more than likely raised in misogynistic ways, you don't know any different. So instead of highlighting that and maybe working on it a little bit more before you had kids, because that's all you fucking knew, that's how you raised your daughters. And that, my friend, is now why they do not speak to you. I just found that this person was just like digging themselves a deeper grave, because after that, it just got worse. It was kind of like, you are literally telling everyone that you're a misogynist and you have no idea how you sound to other people. And this is what happens when you don't do any kind of self-reflection, when you have zero self-awareness, when you don't work on yourself and your own, you know, triggers or your own thoughts and patterns and beliefs, when you don't question certain things in your own life and you're just like, hey, let's have a Band-Aid, baby, and everything will be fine. And then you end up subconsciously pushing that shit on your child, in this case, the misogynistic ways, because I'm guessing OP was raised in a misogynistic household as well. So she doesn't know any different. That's the shit that she was fed. So now she's grown up and had kids. She's feeding that shit to her kids. But her kids are millennials more than likely. And they're kind of like, hang on a minute, I ain't dealing with this shit. We don't do this anymore. You know, women go off to college. We get an education. We have bank accounts. We buy houses. You know, we rule the roost. We do our own shit. You heard what the woman said. She literally said it herself. I believe that women should be submissive. Like, how much more can you tell on yourself, lady? Like, for real. And it just sounds like you're really happy that your sons, who I'm sure you praise to high heavens with everything they did, you probably put your sons on a pedestal because, duh, that's what people do without realizing. You probably put your son on pedestals. So they're like, hey, mum is this cool being. Mum is so cool because she fucking tells us how we're big, strong men all the time. And your daughters are like, fuck off, mate. I'm going to college. I don't want to hear from you ever again. I do, of course, want to remind you guys that she did at least say that she's, you know, tried to consult them for like family counseling, and she has reached out to them to try and apologize and stuff like that. But in the same breath, I think we all gathered that, you know, the damage was kind of done. You know, there were too many, because you heard what she said, they're in their 30s now. I think it's a little too late. I mean, I appreciate she's tried to extend the olive branch, but at the same time is like, the damage is done now. They're in their 30s. They have their own life. They're set in their own ways. You know, you took a little bit too long to get to that realization that you fucked up and that you have treated your kids differently. You've treated your sons differently to your daughters. You've played favorites. You know, there's only so much of that kids can take. And when they get to adulthood, trust me when I say they will turn their backs on you and they don't give a fucking shit. They literally don't. Because, like I said, the damage has been done. They're hurt. They feel neglected. They don't feel honored. You haven't honored your daughters the same that you've done your sons. If you had, they more than likely would be chatting to you. They might even be married with kids. Who knows? Like, maybe they've gone cold turkey and the whole marriage and kids things because they saw your relationship. They saw your dissolved marriage, and then they saw you remarry. And then they obviously saw that, you know, your head's a bit too far in the fucking Bible, and they didn't really like that. You need to understand it from the viewpoint that your kids are not a mirror image of you. They're not a little carbon copy of you. They might grow up and hate what you hate. They might have different opinions. They might watch different shows or vote for different people. They might have different political views, different sexual views. Like, they are gonna be their own person. And this is the one thing that a lot of parents, they can't tolerate. They can't cope with it. Because all they think is when people decide to have children, they go, oh, we're having a baby. They don't say we're having a kid, or we're gonna, you know, they forget that the kid's gonna be a grown-up one day. You need to understand it's not a baby you're having another human who's going to grow up, have its own life, have its own voice, have its own opinions, you know, and guess what? They might not talk to you. They might not like you. You might not get on. It's a different human. It's a different human. It's not a baby forever. So, you know, enjoy the childhood times when you can control them and you feel like you're in control of them and you can tell them what to do. But just be careful taking it too fucking far, because one fine day, they just won't talk to you. And they will treat you like a stranger. And it's going to hurt. I don't want you to end up on this page. I'm just saying. I've seen it happen far too many times. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you give this video a massive thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.